What day is it today?
It's Halloween.
Yay! Thursday, October the 31st. Here's what we're working on this morning for you. In the news, one man has been arrested by a botched daytime home invasion. This is in Brampton.
LA Dodgers have clinched the 2024 World Series title.
And tens of thousands of Oasis fans facing their tickets being canceled if they're resold.
It's 6 a.m. and Halloween has started early.
Why not get it started? The boss is in the house. Got to be careful. We got to behave ourselves today because we're not allowed. Well, not allowed, but it's tough for us to wear costumes and
reading serious stories.
Yeah, for sure. But our friend over there,
I can get away with it.
And you've even. Can you show the briefcase? Do you have the briefcase?
Do I have? I didn't bring the briefcase.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's in the briefcase?
Well, forget about it. Can't talk about it. All right, let's have a look and see what's happening on your roads today. 6:01 on Halloween, in case you didn't notice. Anyway, let's have a look and see what we've got on the go. And it's a pretty good start to the day, actually, out there, seeing things build up as they normally would. Garden City Skyway, though, fairly calm right now. Quiet along Ontario Street as well. Up to the Burlington Skyway Bridge, moving along in great shape. Traffic's a little lighter than it has been. Guelph Line building up, as you would expect, up by the Ford plant, still moving in good shape. Whether or not a factor for the drive to work today, however, coming home, that may be a different story of a little bit of rain probably coming by that time, but we'll get that in the weather in the next little while. 401 up by the airport look like this, and coming into the Toronto area from the north end, 401 west of 400 here, things are looking in pretty good shape. So good start to the day for our Halloween edition of Morning Live. Thanks for spending part of your time with us this morning, and I'll be back a little bit later on with more traffic and a look at your weather.
All right, thanks, Steve. Let's get into the news on this Thursday morning. Up first, a man is facing manslaughter charges in connection with the death of his mother on Hamilton Mountain, dating back to a May 25th assault of this year. Hamilton police say 59-year-old Goko Spanovic was arrested on May 31st after several family members, including his 86-year-old mother, Milka, was hospitalized for her injuries and passed away on June 6th. Goko was charged with multiple offenses, including manslaughter and several assault-related charges. So the case is currently before the courts.
One man's in custody, another is on the run after a home invasion in Brampton. Video of the arrest has been posted on social media.
Don't move! Hands up! Hands up!
So this happened Tuesday afternoon outside a house near Goreway Drive and Cottrell Boulevard in Brampton. An open safe was found on the front lawn. Peel police haven't said yet what charges have been laid.
New York State police say a 33-year-old mother climbed over a safety rail and intentionally went over Niagara Falls with her two children, a 9-year-old and a 5-month-old. Police say the family went over a safety rail on Luna Island around 9 o'clock on Monday night. The island is a popular tourist area on the American side. Search efforts have been unsuccessful. Now, if you or someone you know is thinking about suicide, call or text 988. Help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Still no answers as to what caused a loud explosion outside a school in Grimsby on Tuesday. Niagara Regional Police say a staff member from Central French Immersion School in Grimsby went out to the dumpsters behind the building when the blast occurred. She was taken to hospital with minor injuries.
We have heard reports from a significant distance away that the sound of the explosion was heard. So being right there when it occurred would not only cause some potentially physical injuries, as we've discussed, but certainly a traumatic situation or a scary situation for anyone.
Police are trying to figure out if the explosion was accidental or intentional. They're asking anyone in the area with surveillance video between Sunday morning at 7 to Tuesday afternoon to contact them.
Norfolk OPP are investigating a suspicious house fire that took place in Simcoe. It started around 11:30 on Tuesday night at a home on Turkey Point Road in Simcoe. No one was inside the home and no one was injured.
79-year-old Burlington woman described as being vulnerable is missing. Diane Katowski was last seen walking yesterday morning around 10 near Plains Road and Falcon Boulevard in Burlington. She's white, 5'7", with a thin build and shoulder-length gray hair. She was wearing a black sweater with a blue and red design on it, blue jeans, and black slip-on shoes. With plans for a $35 million expansion, the Hamilton-Burlington SPCA is making a difficult decision to turn away animals and close one of their leash-free dog parks for the time being. In its current state, the shelter is designed to hold about 200 animals at a time. The facility on Dartnell Road's been running beyond capacity for years, taking in more than 4,500 animals a year.
We no longer can meet the standards of care in what I would call the best standards of care. We do meet the animals' care, we do deliver a good level, but are we doing the best job? Well, we can't, just because of the limited amount of space.
Now, the shelter shares a building with the City of Hamilton's Animal Control Services. The president of the Hamilton-Burlington SPCA says he's waiting to hear from city officials after a council meeting in December to get a better understanding of if animal control will move to a different location, giving them more space. Halloween for Hunger's 25th annual food drive is back this year, with students collecting non-perishable food items for the Neighbor to Neighbor Center. Simone Gavros joins us with more on this program from St. Thomas More Catholic Secondary School on Hamilton Mountain.
Well, good morning, Annette. And this is really timely as well, given what we saw this week with that report about how food bank use is at all-time highs. But here behind me, you can see at St. Thomas More, they have about 2,000 boxes that are on standby that they're going to be filling up with all the food donations they'll be getting today. There's over 800 student volunteers that are going to be canvassing about 25,000 homes on Halloween night. And they're going to be looking for food donations as well as money donations, because those go a long way as well. Now, Halloween for Hunger has collected over 1 million pounds of food since it started back in 2000. Last year, the initiative focused on monetary donations and raised about $42,000, according to Neighbor to Neighbor. Now, the food bank says this is one of their biggest and most important food drives of the year that they count on to keep their shelves stocked. The most recent report from Food Banks Canada, released on Monday, highlights a grim new milestone for the country. Food bank visits have almost doubled in the past 5 years, with over 2 million visits to food banks across the country in March 2024. So here at St. Thomas More, they're looking to do their part to help raise funds and food. So if you live on the mountain, you've likely been handed a flyer giving a heads up about the big donation day tonight. Canvassers will be hitting their routes today around 5:30 p.m., collecting food and donations and bringing the carloads of food back to the school to sort, pack, and stack. So coming up, we're going to be hearing more from some student leaders who are involved, as well as some staff and Neighbor to Neighbor, for more about how this initiative helps them throughout the year. For now, I'll send things back over to you, Tim.
All right, thanks, Simone. Let's get into Sportsline. Game 5 of the World Series went down from the Bronx last night, where the Yankees had found new life after their Game 4 win. Game 5 started out great. Bronx Bombers had a 5-0 lead, only to blow it on some sloppy defensive play, and the Dodgers, who never gave up, came all the way back. They were leading 7-6 in the bottom of the ninth.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
God, what a game, what a comeback, what a team. LA Dodgers are your 2024 World Series champs, and the celebration was on as they win their 8th World Series title, first since 2020, the pandemic-shortened year where they were not able to have a parade. You bet you're having one. Shohei Ohtani with his first title after joining the Dodgers. What can you say about Canadian national player Freddie Freeman? He had 4 home runs in the 5 games, 12 RBIs, including 2 last night. And he was named World Series MVP, the first Canadian ever given that honor. And the party in New York was happening. Heartbreak for Matt Cisco. Let's check on him maybe, and all the Yankee fans after it looked like they were heading back to LA. Tough offseason for them, thinking of what could have been.
Ball up top. Mitchell right there. Now Pirtle with the help. Ball the whole time.
To Charlotte, where the shorthanded Raptors trying to get back in the win column against the Hornets. And they made game of it despite missing some key players, coming back from 23 down. But the Hornets, LaMelo Ball, would seal it, that is, late in the fourth. Nice efforts by R.J. Barrett, who had 31 points. Grady Dick had 30 for the first time in his career, but the Raps lose a third straight, 138-133. Next up, LeBron and the Lakers at home on Friday night, and they will have to do it without their best player for that game and many others, as the team announced Scotty Barnes is out indefinitely with a right orbital fracture. Raps forward, who was elbowed in the right eye by Nikola Jokic in Monday's loss to Denver, is going to miss at least 3 weeks and then will be reevaluated at that point. On top of Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, he remains out with a back injury. He got hurt in the first game of the season. Toronto is 1-4 to start the year. Well, the year is over for the Tiger Cats, but despite the disappointments of missing the playoffs, there are a number of players that were recognized for their play as the CFL announced their divisional all-CFL teams, and Ticats' most outstanding player, Bo Levi Mitchell, is an all-star for the 4th time in his career after he led the league in passing yards, completions, and touchdown passes. In total, Hamilton earned 6 noms. Joining Mitchell is receiver Tim Whites, who scored his 4th consecutive divisional honor, while Stephen Dunbar Jr. recorded his 2nd career divisional nod. Shamar Bridges had a great rookie campaign, 83 receptions, and makes the team, while offensive lineman David Beard is the first-timer after starting all 18 games at center and cornerback. Jamal Peters scored his 2nd nom. Overall, the Argos and Rough Riders led the CFL with 9 All-Stars each.
Okay, Halloween day. Welcome to this one. We've got a good start to the day. It's another warm day to start, but this is the last one. We're getting back into cooler stuff. 6:11 on your Thursday. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Morning Live. Let's have a quick look and see what's happening on the highways this morning. Coming out of Niagara, busy, yes. No problems out there at all. Weather not a factor. Up by the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Eastbound, moving left to right on your screen closest to us. Traffic moving along in good shape right now. Guelph line building up, looking all right though. No seeing any problems by the Ford plant, and the 403 west of King Road, no problem. A quick look up at the airport. Well, Pearson's looking pretty good right now. So good start to the day as far as our traffic's concerned, and a good start today as far as weather's concerned, but it is going to deteriorate, unfortunately. High pressure, which has given us some help to give us a lot of really nice weather, is moving off now, and we're looking for, well, starting tonight, we'll notice cooler conditions. No more teens as far as nighttime lows. We're getting down a little bit below 10 degrees, 6 or 7 degrees. Really notice the daytime highs coming tomorrow. But also coming with this change will be, again, this line here, which is a cold front, which will trigger some showers. Timeline is kind of narrowed down now for tonight. So again, trick or treat's the big thing tonight. So we're expecting cloud for a good chunk of the day. We may see this a little bit of sun to start. However, as we get into later parts of the day, more cloud, and say after 6 o'clock, we could see a couple of splatters of rain moving through, and any kind of heavier rains. And there's not a lot of rain associated with this system. We could see that happening after 7 o'clock, 7:30. So that's kind of the timeline that we're seeing right now. But for today, look at these temperatures. Daytime highs are lower than what we're seeing right now out there. Hamilton, 14 degrees. Your almanac for today, the sun will be up at 7:54, down at 6:12, and normal highs 10 degrees. For today, we're looking for a high of 24. So this will be the warmest day of our little warm spell here. Feeling like 27 again with the humidity out there. 60-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts blowing those leaves that you've raked up all over the place. And again, so make sure you tie down all your Halloween stuff for outside too. And checking for tonight, we're looking for chance of some showers. And again, not a lot of rain associated with it, but they will be here and there. And it will start probably after 6 o'clock. More likely, heavier intensities will be after 7 o'clock, and a low of 7. So certainly on the cooler side, nighttime. We'll look at more traffic. We'll look at the extended forecast. That's all coming up just ahead.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah, it's like a Tuesday for Steve. You know what I mean? Just throws on the hat for Halloween. Good stuff. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the effort. Coming up after the break, we'll check in with Emily Vukovic, who's going to tell us what's happening in Chit Chat. Also, our dollar has dropped to a 4-year low. We'll have details on that and other business news in 2. KU.
Hi, good morning.
You had some adventures yesterday, we see.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I was covered in so much fake blood.
What did you do?
Evil Dead the musical. Great
Okay.
show, so much fun. But I was like, I had blood like up my nose. Like
Fake
that
blood.
wasn't mine.
Fake blood.
That was not mine. Fake blood. That was not mine. It was all over me. I had to like wring out my bra. Like it was a whole thing. It was not
I think
okay.
that's the quote of the show.
Yeah.
Did you have that on your bingo card?
6:17. We already got it. We already got it. There we go. Okay, glad I asked. That's coming up throughout the show. What else you got?
Like if there's a tease, like that was it. People are going to stay tuned. We're going to be talking about some sad music fans. Sarah McLachlan has had to cancel some tour dates. We're also talking about Oasis canceling a bunch of tickets. I feel
Resale tickets, we should add.
yeah, resale
Yeah.
tickets, but still, wouldn't you be sad? I don't know. I'd be a little sad if it
Well, you
was
just have
my
to be
ticket.
careful with resale when it comes to all this stuff. Right?
Yeah, so we will
that's the thing.
discuss that coming up.
Okay, we'll talk some Halloween stuff too, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure. We've got all
Okay.
of us in Halloween costumes.
All right.
I love your costume today. So let's get to business news now. Canadian dollar is down 8 basis points, trading at 71.86 cents U.S. Gold down over $11, 27.8950 an ounce. Crude oil, it's down 5 pennies, 68.56 a barrel. What about Europe? Hey, Europe. European trading midday, losses across the board, London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia today, the markets were down in Tokyo and Hong Kong, up just a little bit in Shanghai. North American markets, the TSX was down 54 points, the Dow dropped almost 100, and the Nasdaq fell 104.
Okay, so you saw me talking about our Canadian dollar, that it has dropped. Well, it has now fallen below 72 cents this week for the first time in over 4 years. This decline is really attributed to a weaker economic outlook compared to our friends to the south, leading the central bank to cut interest rates significantly by an unusually high 0.5% to 3.75 last week. Additionally, falling crude oil prices and political uncertainties surrounding that election down south next week are further pressuring our loonie. While a lower dollar may benefit industries like tourism and exports, it does pose challenges for Canadian travelers and import costs, with experts predicting continued downward pressure on the currency.
We're going to get another indicator of how the economy is doing a little bit later today. StatsCan is set to release August gross domestic product report. The agency's preliminary estimate suggests no growth that month. An analyst for RBC says they expect Canada's economy stayed weak in September as well.
So one of 3 major tobacco companies involved in years of negotiations with creditors say it opposes the proposed multi-billion-dollar settlement announced in a case earlier this month. JTI McDonald has filed a document with an Ontario court indicating it does not support the proposal due to, quote, critical outstanding issues. The document was filed ahead of a hearing scheduled today to set the next steps for the proposed plan of arrangement presented back on October the 17th. The proposal would see the 3 companies, JTI McDonald's, Rothmans, Benson & Hedges, and Imperial Tobacco Canada, pay $24 billion to provinces and territories and more than $4 billion to tens of thousands of Quebec smokers and their heirs, among others.
Loblaw says it's willing to eliminate commercial property controls in the industry if other grocers do the same, but the chief executive of Sobeys owner, Empire, says it's up to the government to step in. Property controls are part of commercial leases that put restrictions on other tenants and their activities. Competition Bureau of Canada is investigating Loblaw and Sobeys' use of the controls, saying that they are hampering grocery competition and keeping food prices high.
6:20, let's look at business news on your Halloween. So the Halloween forecast, a very important one. And Sharp Jess Man over there going to tell us what we got today and into the weekend.
All right, welcome back to Morning Live, 6:23 on your Halloween Thursday, and no tricks or treats right here. Well, not a trick, but kind of normal for this time of day. We see a build-up right here along the Burlington Skyway Bridge eastbound or Toronto-bound, coming out of Niagara and Stony Creek area, and that has come across in the last 10 minutes or so. So let's make the turn on the long Guelph line, seeing things fairly in good shape, although you can see lots of lights there. So traffic is building up there. Up by the Ford plant, hasn't reached quite that far yet. 403 west of King Road, looking at things right now, no problems. Glen Aaron Drive, seeing the same scenario. Whether or not a factor in your drive today up by Pearson Airport, traffic still in pretty good shape, although you do see the volumes increasing as we speak. And 401 west of 400, traffic's moving along in pretty good shape. Now, daytime today, it's going to be nice. Temperature still, in fact, it's going to be the warmest day of this 3 days that we've had. And again, after that, it's all going to change. Let's check some of your temperatures at 6:25 on Thursday. Hamilton, now remember, 10 degrees is what we expect for daytime highs. Hamilton, 14 degrees. Grimsby, 16. Mississauga, 17. Toronto, 14 degrees. Your Thursday planner looks like this. We're going to start the day with a little bit of sun, probably in some areas. However, it's going to cloud up. And then after 4, probably after 5 or 6 is when we expect to see the first of these raindrops move through the area. And we could see, I don't want to say heavier amounts, but more likely later on. But there is a slight chance of a shower in Hamilton and Halton for the drive home tonight. Niagara should be fairly calm, although temperature is still well on the warm side. And your extended forecast shows it's going to feel like 27 today. Unbelievable for this time of year. Friday, 30% chance of residual showers from the system moving through, but look at the difference in the temperature. That's the big thing here. Daytime highs back to more seasonal, and of course Saturday night putting the clocks back again to standard time. But the weekend looks pretty dry right now, and then next week 30% chance of some showers coming our way. So it looks like a lot of rain, not a lot of rain, but we're getting back into more normal patterns for this time of year. Let's look at things for now.
All right, thanks, Bugsy. In the heart of a southwestern province in China, we got giant panda cubs?
Yep.
Wake up the kids. Come on.
They're taking their first climbing lesson, so one little cub there's going up a ladder under the guidance of a chair. Another's placed on a rocking toy and then whoop, slides down before making its way over to a tree.
Okay, what else we got?
I'm going to hug the trunk here. I'm trying to climb higher. I'm trying. And a different cub settles on a slanted tree trunk and slides down.
Thanks for the descriptions.
Yeah. It's play-by-play of giant pandas. Most of these little ones are younger than 6 months old. This base that they're living on is renowned for its efforts in protecting and breeding giant pandas, red pandas, and other endangered wildlife. This is like, it would be my dream job to work there and just watch pandas all day.
Just help them out. Here you go,
little guy.
Yeah, like just picking them up and taking them somewhere else.
Carrying them.
Just so furry and lovely. Oh, man. If that does not get a smile on your face, Halloween. All right, here we go. Warm, little soggy.